is we can't bombard ourselves with all the dismal and the gloom of what's happening, because if we try to track consciousness through what's happening with black people as far as how they're getting messed up, it'll be a 24-hour job. Let the dead lie with the dead. As a matter of fact, I'll go even further than this. This is a mystery that the spirit world says. The spirit world said that we put a certain amount of people in the front lines to take the hit, go to jail, get killed, and all kind of get on dope, and do all this while the conscious people could get themselves together, and you wouldn't have the messed up things going on, so you can get your head together. So they'll send out a bunch of people whose karma is already messed up, and say, let them take the hit. You see what I'm saying? But you say, well, why that? Well, some people down here, minds are to the point that the only thing that they can do, they're useless eaters. The only thing they can do is sleep, eat, and screw, and do things on the 5 cents mode. So that particular person there really is not a person that's going to really do nothing to help further no spiritual cause or further the racial cause. So you take that Negro and put him on the front line and let him take the hit, because that's all he was going to be about in the first place. And while you have to learn the stuff. Now, every now and then some of our good brothers and sisters get caught up in the mess, but then again, on the other hand, that's what this whole, that's the way the system goes. You got to have a decoy. And that's what happens. So in so many words, this is the same thing of the African society continuing. The African king and the pharaoh, they say they used to have 10 decoys, and you never really got to the real person. So each time they bump off one of these crazy Negroes out in the street, he was a decoy, and you survived to get the knowledge and the information, and that's the way the stuff goes down here. It's all based on your light. If you have no consciousness, you have no light. So when the spirit world looks down and they're looking at the individuals, they can only see the light in the ones who got a certain amount of consciousness. Your light shines. The people who don't have no consciousness, they don't have no light at all, so it's almost like they never really lived. They dead anyway. So whenever you see the decoy getting bumped off, you don't supposed to get mad and get distressed. You're supposed to go on. Say, look, this gives me more time for me to do myself. Still all them old no good niggas out there to get killed. You see what I'm saying? No, it's not dead at all. As a matter of fact, guess what? You ever see the movie Highlanders? Get the Highlander movies. When they take one head, the other body gets quickened. For every person that goes to the other realm, you get quickened. But they're not actually dying. They're actually freeing themselves. So what happened here is they are living, because the physical realm is the realm of death, and the other realm is the realm of the living. So it's all it all goes to another level. But I was talking about based on why you see a certain amount of things, and when people ponder this question, well, why do we have to go through this if it's so spiritual? And what we don't realize is some of that stuff is being lined up if you just take the time to understand what's really going on. It's an ecological system. Ultimately, nobody dies. Ultimately, the people that's just checking out of here, they only going to the place where we are all going. You see what I'm saying? And so when I ain't even talking about in a religious sense, I'm talking about this. Our reality is changing. Our DNA is changing, so our particular reality and our particular terrain is changing from a physical realm back to a spiritual realm, and we will be the glorified spirits, as they say. The Egyptians talk about it, and even the Christians. But what that is talking about, that's talking about a new dimension and a new reality and a new type of body and a new whole thing that is not dictated by the 5 senses of the jailhouse of the physical reality, what we call the matrix. So all of that type of stuff here. So everything that we're dealing with right now is going into that. So when they do these rituals, they are enhancing us, because those terracotta warriors or those brothers and sisters that died into Katrina is nothing but the same genetic background of the indigenous people, and that's how we rise. So everything they do against us is fortifying us. But you have to understand that and not get into the emotion of everything that's going on out in the street. Because if you depend on what's going on in the street, them Negroes will have a story for you every 5 seconds. You see. And so the monk knows you have to separate yourself from the outside world. Your mind. You don't have to go physically, but if your mind is right, you see, you can walk right through this stuff and understand that it's all actually playing out in our benefit.